we have some interesting things to share with you on Content Factory. So I know there's not a whole lot of people here. There's actually more than I thought for a Friday night. How many people are using Content Factory for the first time? Give me a 1 if this is the first time you've used Content Factory within in the last 30 days. We have some newbies here. Look at wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Seriously? Holy Janana bodies. Anybody used it before we had it? Anybody for more than 30 days? Okay, Tim, yeah, okay, great. Bought today? Yeah, Anthony did. Well, Brian, this might be a little bit of a different presentation.
I recognize a lot of Traffic Factory folks in here.
Oh, okay. So how many of you guys that are in here are in Traffic Factory? Give me a 1 if you are. Okay. Muy. Wow. Show us the cool stuff. Thanks, Paul. Hey, Paul, by the way, great video on links. Appreciate that. All right, cool. We got a lot of TFers in here and now we're going to do some CF stuff, and we're going to, kind of share with you some of the things that we're working on. As you guys know, we are always what do we call that, Bryant? A work in progress.
Yeah, we're actually a perpetual beta group here, I think.
Pretty much. You give us the ideas and, we rock with it. So, all right, enough bullshit. So, Bryant, why don't you go ahead and let's kind of walk through this in more of a basic fashion than just kind of showing the new features. So he's going to fire this up. And so everybody in here, throw in a keyword that you want us to use as a demo in search so that's not rigged. Okay. Throw some keywords in here. Oh, Bitcoin.
Okay, can everybody see my screen okay?
Yep.
Okay.
Excuse me, what is a Slotin maker? What the hell is Slotin maker? SLOTENMAKER. DOS, be nice. I'm going to make a copy of this and share it with everybody.
Hey, DOS, I'll have somebody take away your Saints ticket, dude. Be nice.
Okay, so it makes slots. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Rusty.
Who'd have thought?
Okay, let's go with, I got wedding, Bitcoin, slot maker, sports, payday loans, locksmith, truck detailing. You pick, Bryant. What do you want?
I heard one that got my interest.
French bulldogs.
French bulldogs. Cool. That's it.
I like it. French bulldogs it is.
So we're going to do French bulldogs. Slotin maker. Rusty, you're a trip, man. Anything but warts.
Is that anything but warts? Yeah, that's definitely a Traffic Factory crowd.
Okay. Everybody see
Patrick probably doesn't get Patrick, you probably don't get that joke.
Yeah, I kind of do.
That's too bad.
So make it as big as you can, Bryant.
I know. This is the next thing we'll do is we'll make all this a little easier on the eyes. We'll do that here quickly. That's not a big thing.
So in GoToMeeting, if you go to the top right hand corner of the GoToMeeting, you see the underscore, the box, and the X. Click on the box, and that will make your screen the biggest that it can be. Okay. And everybody got that? You know how to do that? Content Factory works only in English. Edward, I don't know what you're trying, but that's not true.
Yeah, I'm not smoking what you got because I'm going to show you some mind-blowing stuff in Spanish here in the back.
Edward, what language do you think it should work in? Tell me. It should work in Slotin maker language. Gotcha.
Slotin maker, yeah. That's a dialect. That's not a language.
Okay. Dutch. Give me a Dutch word. a
Yeah,
Dutch
okay, well, listen,
word.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and fire this thing up.
Okay.
And we don't want to go through any options. We want to do a performance kind of thing here, right?
Well, let me ask you everybody a question. Since a lot of people are new here, do you want us to go into, a little bit of detailed training quickly or deeply, or just get into the new stuff? New stuff, quick, detail, new stuff, new stuff, new stuff. Quick detail. Okay. All right, let's do quick recap of what we've got for options, okay?
Sure.
Very simple.
Very simple. You can use proxies. This is fixed, by the way. It was broken for a while. It's now fixed. You can use geo-targeted content by using these tokens.
By the way, I don't use geo content, and the reason that I don't is because you will get some of that anyway based on where your IP is. But the other thing that I don't like about using it myself is it restricts the amount of content that I get back based on that geo category, and I want as much content as I can, so I usually just delete that.
Okay, we'll just go ahead and do that too. Negative words, negative keywords, like if we were doing French bulldogs, we might put in here, we don't want any pink French bulldogs or any pink bulldogs. Anchor text URLs and keywords. This will build your anchor text within the articles and use your keywords as the anchor text, of course. Spinner options. There's 3 of them. There's do not spin. We have the free spinner built in, and we have a spin rewriter API, which you can set up and use the advanced options.
Which is really cool because you could do it right within the software.
Right, exactly. You don't. It's the same as the settings that you get if you go and
copy and paste your article into Spin Rewriter, set it all up, get the stuff and bring it back. You can do it right within Content Factory.
Okay, and so this is how we're gonna set it up. We're gonna go for high confidence, and we'll do a spin as part of the process here, so everybody sees how to do that. So we'll save those. We'll come back to our start options. We're not going to do any geo targeting. We're not going to add our own anchor text and URLs, and we're not going to use our own custom YouTube channel to insert videos into the content. Obviously, since you see that here, you can do that. You can also use your own images on, what's it, Flickr?
Wherever you have them stored.
Yeah, wherever you have them stored, you just put in the URL and away you go. So
one thing I do want to go, just for everybody that doesn't know, Brian, go to options real quick again.
Yep.
Okay, so I would suggest that everybody not use negative keywords unless the negative keywords do not, I'll repeat, do not have any form of the main keyword in them, such as carpet is your keyword, but you don't want, your negative keyword is car, carpet. If you put a negative keyword, car, carpet, and your main keyword is carpet, guess how many results you're going to get? Anybody want to guess? If your negative keyword is car, carpet, you're going to get 0 results. So be very, 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 very careful, and don't say our program is broke. Even if you just put car in, C-A-R is part of carpet, and it'll not allow you to bring back any results, okay? And going down to anchor text, just give me 1 minute to really, this is important stuff, because if you go into URLs, just as an example, you don't have to do this now, Brian, but if you go into French bulldogs and you go to Wikipedia and type in French bulldogs, and then you use link gopher in Wikipedia, and you get all of the links that are in Wikipedia with link gopher for French bulldogs, and you put all those links in the URL side over here, which are all semantically related, perfect external links to Wikipedia, references to French bulldog, and then you put all of your keywords over on the right hand side, all of your French bulldog keywords, or you look at this or see this, or is this cool, or buy now, or whatever your non-semantically related keywords mixture is on the right-hand side, that's how you create the anchor text here between the keyword and the URLs. So when now if you go back to where we were on the start button and you click that box that says add anchor text, you click anywhere from 1 to 20. It doesn't matter how many you're going to insert in your article externally. That's what's going to be filtered through each article on a variable basis. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, and the same thing happens with your YouTube channel. You put that in there and you pick 1 to 5 videos. It will bring randomly 1 to 5 videos in, as that Brian said, images, 1 to 5, 3, 2, whatever you decide that you want in your article to bring in, it's going to bring those in from those folders and from those channels and from the anchor text. And those 3 things right there make it extremely powerful, in terms of the data that you're going to be bringing in, especially for Traffic Factory, right?
Especially for Traffic Factory. But you can generate, really good content for, well SEO'd content for your blogs, 250 articles to the crack. Anyway, I wanted to revisit something because of what you said, the explanation that you gave about car and carpet, Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
When someone said something about it won't work in German or it can't work in German or something like that. But the way that the software works is it works on character strings. Okay, so this is 1 character string. These 2 things together are a character string. Okay, Content Factory doesn't know if that's English, German, French, Spanish, doesn't care. It's going to look for that character string, okay, as it goes through its process to gather, first of all, keywords. We'll probably get a few pretty quick here. Thank you very much.
Look at how fast that was.
Yeah, it's a lot faster than it used to be. So as you can see, this is going to be difficult to read. I think. Let's see if I can't. It just goes up and down. I can't make it any larger. I'm sorry. The font sizes.
No, that's fine. We can see it.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, here's an interesting. I don't know the answer to this question, actually, Brian. You probably do because you're working with Gab. Alex is asking, where is Content Factory actually getting the keywords from?
Our magic stash. They're Google suggestions. They're Google keywords and suggestions. And DuckDuckGo. And Bing. And some other places. So, but I'm not sure quite how many we've got here, and I don't want to count them, and I don't want to turn them all loose at once on the software, because we'll be sitting here all night waiting for it to, because we're going to do more than one of these things. So we're going to deselect all of them. I'm just going to randomly pick maybe a half a dozen. Okay, so there's a half a dozen, and we're going to say okay, and it's going to go to work. And we just gave it 6 keywords. It's parsing them over here, and it's going to start extracting data. We'll see the URLs it's extracting data from here as it goes through its processes. It's going to run for a few minutes, and I honestly have no idea how many pages were. I've never run French Bulldogs. But what I did do, and while this is running, I'll tell you this story. We'll go back to the languages thing. Somebody in the Facebook Traffic Factory group today said something about German, getting German content out of Traffic Factory, and I said yeah, and I told them same thing. It's a character string. Language doesn't really matter to the software. So I ran in Spanish dog training, and I ran it two times. There's 2 different words for dogs, one being canines and the other being dogs in Spanish. So I ran it twice, and both times I got a few keywords, and pretty good bunch of keywords. I think it was like 15, 20, 30 keywords that I selected, and I got 50 articles for each one. So I got 100 articles in Spanish for dog training in a few minutes. So if the content is there, okay, if it's locatable by a search, we're going to find it and generate some articles. Now, when it comes to the spinning part, I'm not sure how we're going to approach that, because I frankly have never tried to spin another language in a spin rewriter. But I suppose we could give that a try if somebody wants to have some fun. Depends on how much time we have here, I guess, this afternoon. So you see it working there. Any questions from the audience while we're watching this thing run?
Does CF know that I'm in Southern California? CF knows, I think, and we knows CF your knows IP.
CF knows your IP address, yeah?
Correct.
So it doesn't do anything with it, to be honest with you.
But it does but as we know, it will bring in, local, and we'll see this in a second.
Well, see, we see that from the search engines, though. Okay, I think the search engines pick up the IP address of where the software is running, and will return. But as a search engine normally will, it'll return the most relevant results, which may include some local stuff for your IP address. Yes. But we don't, the software itself doesn't go, he's in San Diego, let's give him San Diego stuff. We don't know where you are, we just know the IP address. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Alex says there needs to be a way to set the language. If you just add the language keyword, it's going to go find articles based on the language of the keyword.
Is that clear?
I was clear.
I wanted to get an answer from, who was it, Alex? Alan? I didn't hear.
Yeah, nobody's answering your question.
Oh, we only got 9 articles. This thing's making me look bad. I only gave it 6 keywords. We got something for the 4 of them. So there you can see for sale in North Carolina was one of the things that came in, and then for sale in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and there's Michigan as well.
That's why I don't use the local, because you get enough of them anyway, and you're going to just drop them off. So
yeah.
What is the relationship between the number of keywords, length of content, and army of copies it can make? Well, the more keywords you put in, the more articles you're going to get. And if you put 30 keywords in there to go out and look for articles, just take a nap, because it's going to be a minute.
One of the things that I did do yesterday when I was first testing out this new version is I ran 4 different projects. And if you guys in the Traffic Factory, you'll see that, or you could have seen it, or you can see it in the video that I posted today and yesterday, because I ran this new version of Content Factory to run those 4 different keywords, and they were for the project that we're building in Traffic Factory. And I ran 180 some keywords one time, and I ran 70 keywords another time, and I ran 27 or something like that. I got over 220 articles every time. So that's why I'm surprised this is all we got for French Bulldogs, but maybe there's not that much for them out there. Anyway, I'll show you guys what's new. You can select multiple articles to add over here to this side, and then you can also, as has been the case, if you double click an article, it loads it up over here where you can work on it. Okay. Look at it, do whatever. Say I want to make this, I want that to be my H1 or whatever. We'll make it an H1. You can add additional things or take things out of here as you wish. Or then we just removed it from over there. So I'll put it back again. And now what I'm going to do, we got 2 copies of a couple of them in there, and that's okay. Because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to merge 3 of these. Okay.
This is really cool.
So I just created
it created your merged file right there.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it says merged right on the left-hand side, right in the menu.
I know it says it, but it's not doing anything. Oh, it says it's there.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what well, that's even better. And first of all, let me apologize because I just got confused and thought it wasn't working. Thank you, Patrick. But what it did is because I made a change here, it didn't automatically put the merged article in here for me until it wants to know if I want to save the changes that I had already made here.
Yep.
So that's good. So that's saved. Now there's my merged article. Okay. So all it did was it just took the 3 articles that I selected and merged them into one. So, and somebody asked about the size of the articles. The articles that we generate, as a matter of course, are between 500 and 700 or 800 words. So if you merge 3 of them, you're going to have somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,500 to, what do we count today on 3 of them? Patrick, is it 1,780 some words?
Yeah, 1,784 words.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, be aware that you can generate some really big articles using this merge feature. And I'm going to do that again.
And it would be good for when you're creating these titles and you're setting up the headings on them, and to make a change for each one of them. So French Bulldog breeders, near me in blank, okay, and then or French Bulldog breeders in Dallas, okay. So if you go up and change all of these titles a little bit and make them relevant to your topic or your geo or whatever that you're doing, or add a little bit of a modifier, then you're going to get all those various titles that are going to end up being spinnable titles when you go into your spin rewriter and spin the articles. Make sense to everybody?
Yep. Okay, I'm going to update that just so I save it.
And here's what we did, right? Just so that everybody understands. We took the first article and we went into Keyword Translation Factory and we put it into how many words and characters. The second one, how many words and characters. The third one. And then when we merged them all together, we tested to see whether or not it actually added every single character and every single word from each of the files. And it was exactly down to the exact number of how many characters, spaces, and periods are in each article. When they are merged together, it merges 100% of the entire thing, the entire article. Okay. So that was, pretty interesting test right there. And it's all different, right? So it's all different paragraphs from all different sites, from all different things, but they're all under the headings, cheap French Bulldogs for sale in Oklahoma, change Oklahoma to your city, right? It's just 95% of all of your work and all your research for all your content and semantically related, perfectly done, is right here. All you really need to do is to go through it, be a professional, take your time, change it, make it resonate for your customer, for your client, for their brand, for their address, for their NAP, for their video, for their map variants. Use this as what I like to think of it is 95% of my research time is done in 2 minutes, and then I take the rest of 10, 15, 20 minutes to actually go in and make it read and be very poignant to my topic, to my customer, to the CPA offer, to whatever it is that you want to do. And Brian, that's going to help in Traffic Factory too if we do this, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, I was going to run a quick spin.
Do it.
And we're going to use those settings that it'll take a second to get the data put together over here. It's running through a Spin Rewriter, so it's going through the API out to Spin Rewriter. Spin Rewriter's doing its thing, and we all know that takes a while. Well, that was fast. Don't just make a liar out of me, Spin Rewriter. Okay.
So it created it based on the variables, everybody, that you created in the Spin Rewriter section.
Mm-hmm. The settings that we set up, and if it's got enough information, and for the titles, they'll do some spinning there on some of the titles. Some of the shorter ones, as from Spin Rewriter, anyway, doesn't do well with short things, trying to get a good spin on them. So, and then from here, we can generate as many of these as we want. Okay, so if we don't do anything except say that we want to create 3 articles from this one, then it's just going to generate those 3 articles for me, and it wants to know where to put them. So in this situation, what you want to do is you want to, and at least I do, I navigate back to the output directory, and it's going to be over here. And oh, I thought you would be in French Bulldogs. Okay, you got stuck in. I thought I moved that someplace else.
You make a directory at French Bulldogs at the beginning?
No, that's what I don't remember where it was pointing to. This thing was pointing into. Let's hit it down here. No. It was pointing into the documents file to the Spanish ones I want to show you. See, did it end up in here? No.
Well, one of the things that this is indicative of is that when you go into the settings at the very beginning, preset your folder where you want the data to go to, and then when you go into the settings before you hit search, is make sure that you put that path right at the very beginning of the process so that it knows exactly where to dump the data.
Just a minute, let me cheat here.
See right there, going to administrator.
Yeah.
We don't have a path up there, so it went into the admin section.
Yeah, it's my bad. So SPC, I want users, come on. There it is.
It's there.
Yeah.
If you have the proper, file, you'll get there. So what you're showing them right there is the HTML files that were created from the spin, correct?
No, those files. These are the articles. These are the merged articles.
The merged articles, okay.
Yeah, the 3 merged articles. The spun articles should have gone in here as well, but apparently they didn't. There may have been some kind of a problem updating this particular, or I don't know. Let's do it again. Users administrator. That's where it put them. So or that's where it's gonna put them. Put them in French Bulldogs. Generated 3 articles. And here they are now.
Mm-hmm.
These are the spun articles. And I want to explain what you see in here. This all of a sudden everything is bolded. There's a, if we look at it in here, we're going to see that everything in here is an H4, okay? So the reason I'm showing you this is so that you understand that the way that you set the options for Spin Rewriter can cause this kind of thing to happen, since we're giving Spin Rewriter HTML code to spin and allowing it to make extra sentences or something of that nature. I haven't quite figured out exactly what it's doing or what's doing it in the settings, because we should have just a heading like this and then regular text. But Spin Rewriter is inserting more text into this H4 tag, this heading tag, than what we wanted, and there it ends. And then we're back to normal. But you will see this occasionally, unfortunately, from Spin Rewriter.
Well, you can also then, before you go hit that, you can go down into the HTML section in the edit section and double check to make sure there's no, styling issues like that. Then you can correct them all before you do it, before you submit it.
Yeah. It's not. I mean, it's not a major problem. It's an annoyance for more than anything else. This is where Patrick's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
If you go in here, you can find that H4. Let's see. It should be right here, because there's that late 1800s. There it is, H4, and it goes on and on to.
It's all fixable at some point.
Yeah.
But this is we're just kind of sharing with everybody the very first version of this merge, which is extremely, incredibly cool. It could happen if you're using paragraph shuffle in Spin Rewriter, according to Eric, and that's exactly what we're doing, paragraph shuffling.
Yeah, you know what I did leave that as a setting over here.
So in any case, that's not the real issue right now. It's just to show you how more powerful this is becoming as we add these new features.
Yeah. Now, let me just quickly, since we do have such a heavy traffic factor crowd in here, I've been building example sites and this particular project that I'm working on here with using sentences, the sentence files that we get for Content Factory. And I want to show you those really quick. Actually, I can show you. Let's just go right in here. I want documents.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you guys finish up. I actually have a board meeting I have to go to that I'm late.
Okay.
So have a little bit of conversation about images with Richard.
Absolutely.
And then finish up, all the really cool things that we were talking about. And everybody enjoy the new stuff and share it with all your friends and buddies. The only thing I will say is that the Black Friday special links are all going to come down. I think Gary and I said they're coming down on Sunday night. So if any last minute things you guys want or anything special you need that's not there, contact me. But as of Sunday, we're going to take them all down. Okay. So you guys have a good time. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Okay. So there's two ways that we build the Traffic Factory campaigns. One is using pure sentences or individual sentences, like what would be contained in this
Gary,
file.
monitor the questions for Brian, okay?
Will do.
Thank you. So this is, we did a run on, I did a stop smoking run, and these are the 5,000 sentences that were generated by that run. And if you look over here, this is the project that I'm working on, and the step-by-step, create your own project from scratch. I've got almost 40,000 sentences in here. And then I randomly select them to build the Traffic Factory campaign pages. But what I want to show you is that if we come back over here, if we go back to our, I hope I did close it up, I guess. If we go back to the spinner, okay, so we'll spin it again here, real quick, because some people have asked me, how would you go about creating the nested articles that I use in Traffic Factory when I'm not using the individual sentences to build with? Well, here's your answer right here. You can easily take this content that's spun and just select it all. Apparently the keys I'll take care of that too. Just grab all this content and go into a notepad file. Notepad++ is what I always use. And you open, you spin like this, and then you insert your article, okay? And then at the end of the article, you put the OR bar, which is the upper case backslash right above the enter key. And then you would insert another article. So here you would just bail out, okay? You just bail out of here, come back over here, and you get 2 or 3 more articles, put them together, spin them, okay? And then copy them and paste them into this. And you can do, you could do a half a dozen of them really quick. If you do the individual articles, you can do 500-word articles. If you can do merged articles, you can merge 2 articles and get 1,000-word article that's spun, and use 3 or 4 of those in your Traffic Factory content instead of the individual sentences. So I'll do a separate video on that as part of the project, but I wanted to go over that real quick for everybody right now, since I've had quite a few questions about it. So, Richard, do you want to talk about the image factory a little bit, or are there questions that I need to answer here right now, Gary?
There's one question that you may want to touch before we bring Richard in. Is it better to put the geo modifier pre or post spin?
The geo modifier pre or post spin? I would say post, definitely.
I would too.
Okay. So, Richard, do you want to take over?
Yeah, just I guess maybe just by a quick show of hands, how many people are familiar with Image SEO Factory?
You give us a 1 if you are using or have used or familiar with the Image Factory. Yeah, yes, just got it, Paul. Good deal. Okay, yeah, we got some 1s coming in.
So, so for those, because it seems I'm just seeing a small number of people that are using it or familiar with it. It's a tool. It's a SaaS tool that we've been working on for quite a while. We've also got a WordPress. I don't want to say version, but similar to what we've developed with the SaaS, and so right now we are where we're optimizing images. We've been we've had a pretty extensive beta test group, and so we've had some great success with adding NAP information, articles, up to I think 15,000 characters. So it's a great tool, if you're looking to to optimize your images and and plug them into Content Factory or some of the other factory tools. We can get you added to the group. Link. We did about a 2-hour, just an overview video, and so if anyone's got any questions, you can DM me or drop a question in the thread here, and happy to answer it.
One of the most time-consuming parts of building Traffic Factory campaigns is actually putting the images together and getting them optimized to use in the Traffic Factory campaign. So the tool, the SEO image tool is, and you know what? I'm at such a loss here. I can't remember the correct name for it.
Yeah, Image SEO Factory.
Image SEO Factory.
Yeah, so you can go to imageseofactory.com. The video should be linked there. But amazing tool. What we did, I'll just maybe give just a little bit of background information.
Let me finish real quick though about what I was going to say. One of the things that I saw, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the things that I saw was that the tool has the ability to take a single image and make as many unique copies of it as you want and have them all optimized and stuffed perfectly. Is that a correct statement?
That is a correct statement.
So one image in there, and with your and you can make 200, 300, 400 images that you need for your Traffic Factory campaigns, instead of having to find 300 or 400 elsewhere and then try and get them all stuffed with with the data and things like that. That's what I wanted to make sure everybody knew. But the one image into a bazillion images ready for mayhem. Thank you.
Yeah, and we're you mentioned earlier, being a perpetual beta group, we're doing the same thing. We're going to be adding video functionality. We're looking at we've had requests for GIF files, WebP format. I can confidently say that when it comes to image SEO, there is probably not another group or site that's doing as much of a deep dive into image optimization as the factory group. So
yeah, some of the folks that are contributing to that tool are just absolutely amazing with the images. Just real quickly, Eric. No, I did not, Eric. I had a bunch of I used Scrapebox, okay? I didn't use the new Image Factory tool because I'm just not that good enough with it yet. I haven't had time to get to the point where I can do things as quickly as I can do them some of my old ways. So no, I didn't. I used Scrapebox. I'll cop to that. I won't do it again. So,
busted. Suspended for 90 days.
Suspended for 90 days.
Do not pass go. Don't collect $200.
Well, and don't make any more videos? Richard, could you show what to take from Content Factory and where to place it into Image Factory? I think if you watch Michael, if you watch the video that he just pointed you to with the overview, you'll see it right away. In fact, you probably had some ideas that Richard might not think of, because you'll be thinking of it in terms of what you want it to do.
Yeah, and wide open to to ideas and input from any factory users that are on tonight. I've literally I haven't used some of the other tools as much as I need to, because my focus probably the last 60 days has been entirely on Image SEO Factory.
Eric, I used an old tool that I've had for quite a long time for stuff in the images. I don't even know that it's available any longer. I'm sorry.
Let me see. I'm trying to see the questions. This is a point. Worth noting, because it's been a continual kind of a support question, and so some of you might use your File Explorer on Windows or Mac for that matter to look at image information, and that information that you're seeing is either Windows OS or Mac OS file or library structure. It's not EXIF or necessarily EXIF data or metadata that's formatted in a manner that Google or any of the search engines are looking for it. And so one of the things that we've spent a lot of time working with developers on is making sure that the metadata is being written correctly in the format that Google will read it, or any other device that's going to read properly formatted metadata. So in the group, we give out a couple of tools where people can check images, and they're all standards based. So iptc.org is a site. We can drop it in here. But that's something we've been working real hard on, is just making sure that all the metadata formats, sometimes there's different versions, but making sure that we've been compliant with what Google's going to be looking for.
Are folks still seeing my screen?
Yeah, I could see it.
Okay. I'm still new with these controls, so I wasn't sure. Michael. Yeah, it turned out the problem was that I used Microsoft's snipping tool to capture the image, and it never worked until I converted it with Paint program. Doug, is there a quick way to determine if an image will work before trying to stuff it and move around in the factory programs? I have not used the Microsoft snipping tool, Mike.
I have. It's saving it as a PNG.
Is that what it was? Because we had some problems. Somebody tried to use that type image in Traffic Factory, and Traffic Factory wouldn't take them. We were trying to figure out what it was.
It would take a PNG.
Yeah, for some reason Traffic Factory wouldn't take the image. Oh, I think because it was called a JPG, but it was probably not the right format is what happened.
Right.
That would be my guess at this point. Okay.
Yeah, if somebody's got someone could if they've got information they can share, I'm happy to look at any image issues that people might be running into.
This actually, the problem showed itself in Traffic Factory itself when it was trying to insert one of these images into the content. So I'm not sure if you'd be able to. You called it a JPG, Michael, but was it really? I mean, that's the question. Was the format really JPG, or was it something else? Anyway. I want to answer this question. Does Brian spin the sentence files or leave them as they are? You have to leave them as they are, Alex. You can't put spin tags in the files that we use as tokens or shortcodes. Those two terms are interchangeable, by the way, and for Traffic Factory. So if you have content that's being referenced with a shortcode like keyword or a sentence, then it can't be spun within what's pulled in. It can be, but it's not gonna. Let's put it this way: it's not gonna unspin it. Okay, so you're gonna see spin tags in the output. Because believe me, I tried it because I thought it was a wonderful way to actually generate.
And I can't, I can't speak to the development, cycle on any of the other factory tools. I just know from questions that we've got in the group and where we're looking to go is, once you spin stuff, optimize your images, the goal is, so when you look to insert images into an article or some of the other tools, that it will grab the appropriate image based on keyword. So it'll right. So if you're naming, if you've got a naming convention or a keyword naming convention for your images, long-term goal is to be able to have those automatically inserted into wherever they need to go in any of the other factory tools.
That would be a great feature to have in Traffic Factory, so that you could actually, if you were doing geolocation, for example, and you were doing a page for Dallas, that you had an image that was germane to the product and also was an image of Dallas and had Dallas in the name. That kind of thing. Yeah. See,
well, even I'm looking, your example, with bulldog breeders near me, just that term near me is pretty popular as well. So, there's some ways that you could use that to your benefit as well.
Yeah, and you're very right. I use that. I use that extensively when I'm modifying keywords. I'll always have a set of my keywords that end with near me and around me and near here. Yeah, there's several varieties of that. Yeah. Can you see this from Eric?
No. What's the question?
It's to add tooltips. It's a suggestion to add tooltips for the image factory fields that are applicable for what we use them for. So that looks like a feature request. And their tooltips are a great idea if you have.
Yeah, there are tooltips, but we don't have tooltips on every single field. But most of the major or important fields all have a tooltip. There's a little blue circle with an eye, and you can just mouse over those little blue circles, and it'll expand and give you more information.
Okay, Richard, Michael's talking some more about that image that he used the snipper tool for.
Yeah,
and he did put it into Image Factory and stuffed it in there, and then he got it back as a JPG, and then that was the image that Traffic Factory refused to work with. So he's going to send you a copy of that image.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can see if you can see what went on there.
Yeah,
we have a couple of questions on
in the Image SEO Factory group.
Hey, Richard, we have a
Yeah.
couple questions on images. Alex wanted to know, let me back this up just a shade so I get both questions. The can we confirm which sites will strip the metadata?
Okay, which sites will strip? Yes.
Imgur, as for one, is mentioned, and ImageShack,
Yes.
Flickr.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So the question is specific to which image sites are stripping metadata.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of like an ongoing list. And it's interesting. Some of them, they don't strip out everything. They might honor 4 or 5 basic EXIF data fields. But yeah, I'll make sure that we get the list updated. We'll work on that over the weekend, and we can post something in the group.
We appreciate that.
Mary, to answer your final question there, are they ranking well? Yes, they are. In fact, I did a build with the infamous warts campaign, and I was testing Azure, and so I uploaded the campaign up to Azure, and then I verified it, and I gave the campaign the particular site to Google Search Console to see what Google Search Console thought about it. And it indexed not just 100%, but it indexed over 100%, which means that it indexed several things more than one time, because there were 1,200 entries in that has 1,600 pages indexed now, or 1,600 entities indexed. I'm not clear what exactly it all is. I haven't been through it to that depth. But the other thing that I look at on Google Search Console is the performance of the site, and it is overall with nothing done to it. No, I mean, this is like just raw. Its average ranking position is about 28. Which doesn't sound like a lot until you consider that that's 1,600 pages that average at 28, which means some of them are going to be nowhere to be found, and some of them are going to be number 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this is and this is an interesting interesting conversation that we were having in another group. Sometimes we're always looking for images or things to get indexed, but it has been proven and documented. You don't necessarily have to have everything show up in search. You just want to make sure it gets crawled. And I haven't tested it, but I believe the people that have been testing crawl data. So it's the main thing with the images and some of this content is just that it gets crawled.
Yeah, in this particular case, Richard, the way folks are using the Traffic Factory is they're actually using redirect to drive traffic to a money site or a landing page of one type or another. So they want to rank. I mean, we're wanting these things to show up in the SERPs for people, right? So that we generate. And I haven't looked at it in a couple of days, but the Little Warts project is generating clicks. I don't have any redirects turned on it. I just was an experiment looking to see what Google thought of it, because ultimately what we want to be able to do is have Google love everything that we build.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And Alex, to answer your question, how effective is using the sentences versus the spun articles in regard to indexing. I see no difference whatsoever so far. So it depends on what you want to do. Now, one of the things that I'll be going over in Traffic Factory is that we have to do a little extra work to make sure that our index page on our sites and our content, or not content, but our category pages and our tag pages look good and have quality content on them too. And that piece is what probably has Google indexing at such a really over 100% rate for the Awards project, because it is fully built out with good content everywhere. Ranking problem when you use Google Images. No, there's no ranking problem when you use Google Images that I'm aware of, Edward. But basically, you know, whenever, or at least when I use images, I stuff them myself with something. So if there's anything left over, you know, as far as EXIF data or anything that's left over from it being on Google, and actually Google Images. Well, okay, wait a minute. Are you talking about images that are your images that are stored on Google Drive, or are you talking about scraping or collecting images from Google Images itself? You're talking about getting images from Google to use in Traffic Factory. Okay, yeah, I've done that and I've never had a problem. So, do we have any other questions? You put URLs or actual links in one of the image factory areas, and if so, where would be best? That's for you, Richard.
Okay, let's see. Yes, you can put URLs in the image, and you can also, with the image designer, you can put a URL on the image.
That's something that was just discussed here in one of the groups, or maybe a couple of the groups, and that is the fact that Google is able to read the text on an image.
Yes.
So using a watermark is a great idea. It used to be like, oh, that's cute, but guess what? It's really a good idea now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and just again, we've got a lot of people testing different things and sharing information. But we already know that Google, Facebook, they have the ability to read text on an image.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had people actually run tests where just having a text link on an image, not having anything embedded in the image, moves the needle.
Okay, Edward, because Edward's thinking about the fact that a lot of people use all those images on Google, from Google Images. Edward, once you pull that image off of there and put your own, metadata into it, however you choose to do that, you just made it a unique image. So it's not like everybody's using the same one. If you could get everyone to use yours with your metadata in it, that'd be a great thing, though. Can we batch add the unique keyword to every image? Eric's asking if you can add a different text string to each image, Richard.
Not yet, not in the image designer, but we do have bulk functionality where you can, load up multiple images. And we're still trying to break it, to see where the breakage point is as far as the number of bulk images. It just kind of comes down to server resources and file sizes.
DOS, yeah, I guess we are done with Content Factory unless somebody has anything they would like to ask about it. I'm going to want to wrap up here pretty quick anyway. Any more questions? Anybody want to see some Spanish articles real quick? Just because I have them handy?
Yes.
Okay. And they're going to be in the documents again. And here is dog training. And there's your Spanish language article.
Guys, this will tie right into Voice Factory for those that have Voice Factory.
Ain't that the truth?
Oh, man.
And the other thing is, this content, you realize, honey, this isn't translated content. This is written by native Spanish speakers. Okay? This is what, they write and read on the web. See, how many did we get in here? Yeah, I got 50 articles. Training for police dogs. I do read a little Spanish still. So I imagine, I'll tell you what, one last thing. Anybody want to give me a foreign language keyword to run real quick? Give it a try. If anybody wants to hang around and do that, I'm up for it. The Ducks don't come on for 45 minutes. It's the Pac-12 championship game tonight, guys. Let's see.
Hey, Brian, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer to you, but how they're going to match up against the SEC, it just is never going to happen. So the championship is about as far as they get, right? You know, I had to throw that in there, right?
Out here? Yeah, they really play football out here.
Is it real football?
Slottenmaker is locksmith in Dutch. Okay, we're going to do that. All right, we're going to do Slottenmaker. And then we'll send the whole thing over to Patrick so he can read it up, okay? Okay, that's it. Let's make sure I'm spelling that correctly. Let's see. This is I gotta say, man, I think this is gonna be a tough one. I don't know why. I just think it is. But I don't know. We found some keywords now, didn't we? Holy moly!
There.
And
so Slottenmaker Amsterdam 24/7.
Okay, so shall we do a few articles? I'm liking this myself. We got 7 keywords and see what we come up with for articles. That's pretty cool. Slottenmaker. I'm sorry, we didn't do that up front. Gary, no, it's fun. I like it. So Gary, you get to tell Patrick, yeah, he should have let us do this, okay? Any questions while we're waiting?
That's funny. It really is.
Man, almost everybody's still here. Cool. Yeah, we did Slottenmaker. Go Tigers. Yeah, Dan, no kidding. I'm an LSU fan too. I lived down in Louisiana. I was there for Katrina and then got out. Unlike DOS, it's still around. I'll tell you what's a bummer. A bummer is tomorrow at 1 o'clock when the SEC title game's on. I'm going to be at the freaking car repair guy getting something done on. I hope I can get it on my phone.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
We got to give Doss some heads up. There's a potential, I want to use the word potential, to have both a college and pro championship in Louisiana this year. Has the potential.
The potential is there. I don't know. I think the refs will make sure that the Saints don't get past the final.
Are you trying to remember last year?
Hey, listen, you want to know what really sucks? I was in the hospital. I couldn't even watch the game. I was out of surgery like 2 days.
Yep.
And I couldn't watch. I was trying to watch the game. I was so doped up, I couldn't even watch the game. So I didn't even realize what happened for about another week.
Did you see the replays?
No, I saw the replay. I saw the replay of the call, and I refused to watch the replay of the game. I just said, I can't do that to myself right now. I got enough trouble. Serious. Kind of looks like we're getting pretty good batch of content here, guys. This is pretty cool. All right, we got to get somebody to come up with something Chinese. It really put it to a test.
Hey, Brian, I'm gonna have to bail on you in just a minute myself.
Oh, okay. Now tell me what kind of trouble Richard and I can get into. And if he bails, this place is gonna go crazy.
No, I'm gonna hang out, see what kind of trouble I can get into.
All right, guys. Just have fun. And
yeah, take care. Talk to you soon, Gary.
Yeah, take care, Gary. So, have I missed any important questions? Oh, wait, yeah, we're still working over there. Last week you'd only get 4 articles. Yeah, that was what's been going on with this thing. We went in and added a bunch more resources for it to search from. Edward, because of that, over time, it just when it's going to get data, it's gotta. Okay, well, we got 10. We got 10 articles. The sources that the software was using, the APIs that we use, they change over time, and so we see a degradation in the quality and the quantity of the data that we're getting back. And it had been a while, and we were down to, like you say, 4, 5, 6 articles. So you're having to do a lot of runs to get a good amount of data. But we fixed that. We're actually pulling information from up to 400 different places now. Now we use an aggregator, so we're not out searching 400 different sites, but the sites that we're using to collect data, to collect the articles from, do aggregate that much, in addition to Google and Yahoo and Bing and the other things that we use. Duck, we're using the Duck now. So I guess that's pretty good. I don't read Dutch, but slot and makers, go for it. Okay, well, unless we have any more questions, I think it's a good time to call it a night. What do you think, Richard?
Yes, and if anybody's got any image questions, just ping me or Pat to get into the group, and happy to get people engaged.
Yeah, Michael, to answer that question, the titles are the same, the content is different on the articles. Even though you see the same titles, it started with the same keyword, so that keyword became the title, but in its search, it was looking for different content to add to the article than it had just added to the previous one. Okay. I guess you can't, I don't know if we can spin Spanish or not, Eric. That's one of the things that I want to get answered. I did a Portuguese traffic factory campaign a year and a half ago, maybe. And I think that I used the full article, just spun the articles up as complete articles using something. I'm trying to think of what I'm pretty sure it wasn't Spin Rewriter. Okay, anybody want to have some fun? Want to try and spin this in Spin Rewriter? This one we're looking at right now.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it says Spin Rewriter won't do anything but English. I believe you, Doss. But what the heck, huh? Let's give it a go. So
Let's blow the server up.
let's blow up Spin Rewriter. Yeah, there's no spin there, I'm afraid. It just gave it right back to us and said, nope, no can do.
Okay.
Wait. No, it spun this. Met, it spun into satisfied, fulfilled. So it took the English equivalent of met and spun it. So yeah, that's no good. That isn't going to work. And I personally don't know of any foreign language spinners. So with that flame out, I guess we'll say goodbye.
Good being on with you, Brian.
Hey, it was enjoyed it. Thank you very much for coming in and helping out. And those other two guys, what are their names? They do okay too. Later, us.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Pat, Gary.
Oh, those two guys. Yeah, Patrick. Anyway, okay. So this is being recording. It's gonna take its time to render, and I'm sure it'll be available. Well, Patrick will be up until the vampires go to bed, so he might post a replay up before I get up. If not, I'll get it in the morning. Okay.
Have a good night, everyone.